Good morning folks, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again, and welcome to the second of this week's reviews. We are in Poland and we're in the city of Wroclaw, W-R-O-C-L-A-W, not sure if that's how I pronounce it. Wroclaw in Poland, and you're looking at Wroclaw International Airport, Echo Papa Whiskey Romeo. This is a payware scenery, this version by Drzeweicki Designs. And currently this is version 1.1 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. A download is 1.64 gigs and it installs at 3.73 gigs. It's currently available from a range of vendors including Airsoft, AnyBuilds, Orbix and SimMarket. I got mine from AnyBuilds, which is slightly more expensive than the others but not by much. But I'll give you the SimMarket price because it includes tax. €18, which equates to roughly $19.21 US or £15.66 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are all estimates from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20% for us in the UK, but of course may vary depending on your country of purchase wherever you live. Before we move on to features, many of you will know that there is already a version of this airport outcome created by Fly2i. There's also, I believe, a freeware version. This isn't really going to be a direct comparison, but there are differences between the two. Fly2i version is cheaper, and it's a smaller install. This version that Drzeweicki Design is obviously about €5, €4 or €5 more expensive, but it's larger, it's a bigger install. And it arguably contains a lot more. I have released a video on the Fly2i version. I'll put the link in the description below for you to see so you can compare it with this. Currently this is version 1.1. I'm hearing that as version 1.2 has been released. Unfortunately that hasn't been updated on the AnyBuild site yet, so I'm still looking at version 1.1, which I'm going to review for you today. So let's look at the list of features in this version. So we have a high quality model of Echo Papa Whiskey Romeo Wroclaw Airport, featuring the up-to-date version with extensive details throughout the whole airport. Frame rate friendly design with epic night textures, dynamic lighting, PBR materials and high definition mesh. Custom animated people and vehicles. Performance-friendly interior modelling at the terminal building and the control tower, high-quality static aircraft, custom animated jetways, custom sounds, and Wroclaw city landmarks as well. Fully compatible with GSX Pro using CATERING files for those of you who use GSX. So as you can see, they packed quite a bit into this. We'll have a look at the jetways later. But we've got the terminal and the control tower internally modelled and peopled as well, and you've got animated people, and they've even attempted to sort of deal with the mesh as well and added some off-airport landmarks, which in mostly I will leave you to explore. Really we'll be concentrating on the airport. From what I can see, well laid out. I've had a brief look over this and there is a lot of detail, but to be honest, I'm running everything at high ultra, and the drone camera's moving around quite nicely, so I don't see any frame rate issues. You've clearly done a good job. As ever, let's do some history here. So history. Copernicus International Airport in Wroclaw, Poland, Echo Papa Whiskey Romeo, is a public use airport jointly owned as a consortium involving Wroclaw, Lower Silesian and Polski Party Lotniczy. And I apologise in advance if my Polish pronunciation isn't perfect. Operated by the Wroclaw Airport Company, this joint civil-military airport is located in Wroclaw in Lower Silesian Voivodeship in southwestern Poland. It's Poland's fifth busiest airport. The airport is located 6.2 miles or 10 kilometers southwest of the city centre and has one runway, one passenger terminal, one cargo terminal and one general aviation terminal. The airport is also shared by the Polish Air Force, the US Air Force, the NATO Air Force and the Heavy Airlift Wing. The airport was built in 1938 as Flugplatz Breslau-Schöngarten Airport for the German military purposes before World War II, when the city was still part of Germany. It was the site of a military aviation school, the Luftkriegsschule Breslau-Schöngarten, later renamed Luftkriegsschule 5, or number 5. It was operated briefly by the Soviet forces following the war, before being used for civilian passengers in 1945. Services were operated to Warsaw, Lodz, Poznan and Katowice. By 1992, destinations also included Krakow, Redzno, Gdansk, Szczecin and Kozacin. A cargo terminal, international arrivals hall and installation of a new meteorological system were completed in 1999. In 2000, a new fire station and apron extensions were added, and a new control tower and duty-free area followed in 2001. In December 2005, the airport was renamed after the famous astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus, who studied in Wroclaw and received a scholarship. And the airport's new name is Copernicus Airport, Wroclaw. In July 2006, the architectural firm JSK was chosen to design a significant airport expansion to include plans for a new passenger terminal, ultimately to handle up to 7 million passengers annually, and assorted taxiway, apron and navigation equipment improvements, as well as car parking, expanded up to 1,000 spaces. The first stage, increasing the passenger capacity to 3.5 million annually, officially opened in February 2012. However, the new terminal opened to passengers in March 2012. In May 2014, the Helicopter Emergency Medical Service, or HEMS, base was launched at the airport. Currently, over 10 airlines operate into and out of Wroclaw Airport, which reached a passenger peak in 2019 with over 3.5 million passengers passing through that year. So there you go, that's some history for you, pretty much the same as I did in the other video, so you can quite happily skip this if that's something you've already seen. But the airport's been around a long time, pre-war and during the war. It's been owned by various people in various countries, and significant expansion as well. So let's look at runways now. So runways, the airport operates a single runway, 2911, measuring 8,212 feet or 2,503 metres, and it's made from a concrete asphalt mix. The airport lies at an elevation of 406 feet or 124 metres and sits within the GMT UTC plus 1 hour time zone. Now, like the UK and much of Europe, Poland observes Daylight Saving Time, or DST, which ended for both countries last month, which is October, and so Wroclaw remains 1 hour ahead of the UK currently. So runway 29, and we're looking down the throat of it now, features high intensity runway lighting, airfield lighting system with sequence flashing lights, centerline lighting, touchdown zone lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side. And here you can see, as per the chart and as per the description, everything is there. Centerline, touchdown, high intensity lighting and your sequence flashing lights, and the PAP is on the left. Approach options for this runway, well, you have an instrument landing system which is certified to Category 2 low visibility operations. You also have RNP and BOR approach options too at this runway. So let's go and have a look at the other end, runway 11. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 11, the other end, which also features high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system, centerline lighting as per the other end, and again precision approach path indicators on the left side. You have approach lighting here, but no sequence flashing lights, and again that's as per the charts, so this is all correct. Landing options here, you have RNP and VOR approach options, no instrument landing system at this end. So the airport also has a preferential runway system with departures and arrivals, first using runway 29, or if conditions dictate otherwise use runway 11. So that makes sense. You've got the ILS at the runway 29 end, plus the other options. Between 10 PM and 6 AM local time, the system reverts to arrivals, first using runway 11 or 29 if conditions dictate otherwise, and departures using runway 29, or again if conditions dictate otherwise, runway 11. So pilots consult your charts to make sure you know. So the airport does operate 24 hours, no night closures or shutdowns or restrictions like say for example Stuttgart, which was my recent review this week. But again, be mindful of the restrictions if you want to operate as per the real world. So I've had a look at this airport straight off the bat. It's really nice. It's typical Drzeweicki design. It's well made, well featured, well textured, and again, as you can see, sits really nicely within the area, within the default terrain, which has been modified slightly to make it better. So that's runways taken care of. Now let's have a look at the jetways and do a test. Okay, jetways, so here we are on stand 10. I've got the tug connected so the jetway isn't impeded at all. Let's connect the jetway, see how it goes. Right, it's a nice jetway motion, wheels turning. As you can see with pretty much every jetway I've seen so far, the stairwell goes down into the concrete. But yeah, no problem, let's have a look. Right, from this side that looks to be a pretty good connection, although it has entered the skin here. Let's get a closer look. Okay, it's not too bad. There is a gap at the bottom there, and the hood has gone through the top of the skin of the aircraft. But no, that's okay. It's perfectly acceptable. And as you can see here, the stairs has gone right into the concrete. It's a real pity that this happens. You know, you'd think maybe because the stairs are hinged. You can see the hinge here plainly. And it would be a nice touch if developers, when they were animating these jetways, to see whether they could do something about this. Because some of the jetways are just animated default, and some of them, like this, are sort of newly created. And it would be nice to see the hinge that appears here on most of the jetways that I've utilised when I was at the airport. They have a hinge. But anyway, no, that's fine. Let's look from the other side. So there you can see it actually looks a little bit better from this side. Let's go inside the jetway. Okay, so here we are inside the jetway hood, and here you can see the door is actually closed. And you've got the jetway controls there, which looks really nice. It might be the case that I might not be able to see the door opening. Let's give it a go. So we can't get any further back because of the closed door at the end of the jetway. So there you can see the door's opened fully, and it's not impinged by the hood, which is a good thing, although we still have the gap at the bottom. And again at the top, the door is perfectly clear of the hood, which is fine. So there's a view from inside the aircraft looking out towards the closed door on the jetway. So as you can see from this shot, the jetway design looks really excellent, no problem there at all. And there from the other side, as you can see, it's great. I mean, visually the jetway is a very, very nice piece of construction. Let's disconnect it. So overall, it's a nice looking jetway. The motion is good. There's a lot of things I like about it. Would have been nice to see the door open. And like I said, if developers are watching, maybe it'd be a good idea to see whether they can replicate the hinge that allows the stairs to go up off the concrete. So there you go, that does it for jetways. Let's get down to the airport proper and do a real tour of this airport and see just what it's like. So that's jetways taken care of. Now let's start the main tour. As ever, let's do a tour which is sort of north to south. As you can see, we're looking at the terminal area deadly ahead of us. We'll get down low and do an airside tour so you guys can have a look at the airport generally from low level, and then we'll start to look at some detail. So here we are traversing the airside ramp, As you can see, it all looks pretty good. I mean, some will say, okay, there's only a few sort of oil stains around, it all looks pretty pristine and clean when perhaps it shouldn't do, but personally I like it. But again, you look at the detail, everything's nicely modelled, the right amount of clutter, I would say. Here's the cargo apron, there's the fire station with the fire tower, and we'll carry on down here because you can see the taxiway and the road to the left carries on, where we go down to apron 2, which is mostly general aviation. You've also got that little aircraft there tucked behind the trees. But again, you can see some really nice detail. All the cars are parked in the right places. It's really nice. I mean, look at it, it's lovely. It's very nice indeed. So there you've got VIP jet, and you can hear the APU of the aircraft as well. Here we've got some nice hangars. And again, nicely textured and modelled, slightly weathered. A little bit of parallaxing on the windows there I could see. So here are your Ryanair offices. We'll just track back over here again so you can get a look. I mean, visually it's stunning, it's lovely, really, really nice. Very nicely modelled. All looks pretty real. The foliage and the trees. Look at the car park. Nicely done. Everything's in the correct parking spaces. An example here of some of the buildings and bits and pieces that they've added that fits in nicely with the default. So as we head back towards where the terminal area is, I mean, you can see some of the buildings, some of them are default, some of them have been added and updated slightly. Let's just slow this down a bit now and go down a bit lower. Okay, some photogram but not a lot, but as you can see the drone camera is moving quite nicely with little or no stutters. There's the landside part of the cargo building, which has been very nicely done, I have to say. So now we go landside. Just take this easy. And again, it's really nicely done. You can hear the sounds there. So here we've got some people, one or two animations, and you can also see something of the inside of the airport there. This is nicely done. Very nicely done indeed. And again, you can hear the sounds that they've added. Car park is just really nice. The whole thing has been done very, very nicely. Just been around here to the car park entrance and the airport entrance. There are the barriers. Okay, the road is 3D modelled. It's not really entirely been left to photo scenery. Some very nice road signs there. You know, it's nice. It's really pleasant. Signage, they've not overdone it there, they've got the flag. Head back towards the airport there. It's great, it's really little or really nothing to complain about really. It's been very nicely done. See the parallaxing there, you can see inside the building. Very nice. So here we are back on the ramp, just a couple of shots around the ramp now so you can have a look at the detail on here. This is what you see when you park up. And the detail is really nice. There you can see the aircraft markings at the bottom here. I actually spawned onto the stand here, and as you can see it's not quite there. So coming in to park yourself, you just need to be very careful and mindful of where you actually stop the aircraft. So here's a quick through from inside the flight deck. This is what you'll see when you park up. It's just after sort of 12:10, early afternoon, on the stand here, and there you can see into the terminal, moving passengers and things. It all looks pretty ambient to me, all looks pretty realistic. It's very, very nice. Just looking out the captain's window and looking across on the first officer's side. So as you can see, that looks pretty realistic in the daytime. The airside roads, vehicles, everything looks really, really nice. It's very pleasant. The right amount of clutter. We've got the Cobus buses here, which are a feature at many airports, certainly in Europe. I've travelled on them out to a gated aircraft many times. So a quick look down the airside road, just to show you what's going on. And you can hear the various sounds. I mean, that bus is really nicely modelled. They've even got the people inside it. And there you've got cars that are specific to this airport as well. The detail is very good, it's exceptional. As we come across some of the aprons here where they don't have jetways, as you can see, plenty of clutter, all of it looks pretty good. And here you've got a WIZZAIR aircraft model, part of the scenery, with passengers going up the ramps onto the aircraft. I mean, very nice models. It's a really nice little bit of static scenery. And there, as we pass over, you can hear the APU operating. So a quick look at some of the ground signage, taxiway signage. I mean, it all looks pretty clear. As you can see, nicely modelled, sits in the grass, very pleasant. So just a quick look at some of these buildings from airside and various vehicles that are all specific to the building as well. This is the airside part of the cargo apron. Here's the tower. It's nicely modelled, beautifully weathered as well. Let's pop inside. And there we are inside the tower, fully modelled with animated people, and you can even see hear air traffic control.
Left 130, Sky 557. Over to quarter 30. Yeah, 29 4. Airport 11, roger. Proceed as requested and switch frequency ground point 7.
So that was the tower. Here's the fire station. And you've got to say, I mean, you've got a nice building, weathered, excellent fire tender there, complete with the Wroclaw Airport sign on the side of it, and you've got a couple of people down there, one of which is animated. I mean, that is a really nice model. Look at the tyres, everything's round, you can even see the tread. Okay, the registration mark, license plate on the front is missing. I don't know if they have them. We do it where the airport I used to work at, maybe different in Poland. There's the signage on the building to the right, which is really clear. And you can see a little bit of parallaxing there. You can even see the fire service bits and pieces, the clothing and thing all being hung up there. So there's some parallaxing that gives you some idea. I'm interested to see what this looks like at night. So just an open view there, showing you the view down the road towards the main ramp and the main passenger area. So let's go and have a little close look at Apron 2, which is on the southeast corner of the airport, near the threshold of runway 29. So on the way, you've got this aircraft here, which I believe looks like a JETSTREAM, an old one here. This may be used for fire purposes, I don't know, I doubt it because it's sitting amongst the trees. But it's an old bunged out aircraft that's been left here. Obviously exists at the airport, otherwise it wouldn't have been modelled. So here we are heading towards Apron 2. Let's have a close look at some of these buildings. Again, you can see parallaxing there in the windows. Well, this is the landside part of the terminal here on Apron 2. With no internal modelling in this building. But everything else outside, as you can see, is just as it should be. So again, looking at the detail, you've got flags, stand number in the grass here. Here's the airfield gates and the fence line. I mean, this all looks good. It all looks as it should be. Nothing sticking out of the ground, sticking through the fence or anything like that, or into a building. And there's the building itself. It's lovely. Okay, nothing really to write home about. I mean, it looks okay, but again, it'd be interesting to see the effect in the darkness hours. But again, some nice detail, nice modelling, lovely 3D road system, and look at the vehicles, all beautifully parked in their own slots. And here you can see, even see the registrations and the correct signage. PL for Poland. And here's a Follow Me vehicle, again with the Poland logo, the Wroclaw Airport logo on the side. So just pulling back a little bit higher, again you can see the landside part. Car parks here, and the road system. I mean, it looks great. It all fits in really well. Gates here. Visually, it looks stunning. It's just what you want. And look, the fuel trucks even managed to go around the road, although he's gone slightly off. But most of that works. So this is the VIP area. This is one of the government jets there. Again, you've got people, cars, VIP vehicles. I see these, I've seen many of these at the airport where I used to work. And you've got a police vehicle there too. And again here, a very nicely modelled Airbus A320, or possibly even a 319, not certain. But very nice indeed. Just a quick close-up look at some of the hangars. Again here, evidence of parallaxing, that you can see what's going on inside. And here you can see the military part, which actually isn't shown on the Navigraph charts, but here you can see they've done it, they developed it, 3D'd it, it's beautiful. We'll take a quick close-up look. And some beautifully weathered old hangars, mixed with ordinary buildings as well. The military vehicles look great. And there to the left you can see the helicopter aiming point. It's very impressive. So here's the de-icing pad, which is pretty much at the it's known as Apron 3, and it's right at the far southeast end of the airport. There's runway 29 threshold. I'm hoping that car is going to come off rather than go down the runway. Yes, indeed he is, I think. Here you've got various vehicles, de-icing trucks. Again, nicely modelled here. And here's a close-up look at the de-icing pad itself. And again, you've got some very nice modelling here. The de-icing truck is very, very nicely modelled. So here's the threshold of a runway 29. Again, here you can see the signage and the ground markings are all excellent here. And as you can see, you look closely, we've got WIGWAGS, working WIGWAGS. Okay, so that was a daytime tour generally. I'm going to leave the internal part of the terminal to dusk. We're going to go to dusk now. We'll lower the lighting down and then we'll have a look at the airport as it looks after dark, so to speak. And we'll have a closer look inside the interior of the terminal, look at some of the features, which, to be honest, generally look a lot better after dark anyway. So let's lower the lighting to dusk. Okay, 4:15 in the afternoon. It's mid-November 2023, getting towards sort of winter time. And the lights came on about 5 minutes ago, but here we are. We've sort of dropped the lighting to this time, and you can see it is very, very subtle. It's beautifully done. Some downlighting on the cargo buildings there. The main ramp looks brilliant. No complaints about that at all. And they're looking towards Apron 2 and the de-icing pad, they're all lit as well. And in the distance you can see some buildings here. Maybe these are the ones, the landmarks that have been added as part of the scenery, and that's a real bonus. So let's take a slow tour of airside. Here we're going past the control tower and the cargo buildings, and the lighting's lovely. And now we get down to the ramp. You can see some of the landside buildings are looking quite good there. Beautifully done. Get a little bit closer. Now you can see inside the airside part of the terminal. Oh, it does look really nice, and as you can see, the drone camera's moving perfectly nicely. No real stutters or issues that I can see at all. Very nice subtle stand lighting provided by the high level lights, and also you've got the glow there from the signs denoting the stands, which is a nice feature. So here you can see some ground lighting going towards the runway. Oh look, they've even got the stop bars working. This is a nice full featured scenery. I really don't want to see vehicles going down the runway. However, don't know if it's something they can control. So here we are on Taxiway Charlie. You've got the runway in front of us. The wigwags are lovely. They even glow on the grass. I mean, this is the evidence of good quality scenery. When all of this, you've got the glow into the ground as well. So it's beautiful. So let's get back to the airport. There to the left you've got the radar dome. I mean, I do like this. I like this a lot. I like the way it's done. I'm sorry, but I do like the eye candy. It's nice to be able to explore these places after you park up. So let's go landside and have a look at the lighting before we pop into the terminal. Okay, what I really like is all of the lighting here is excellently done. No floating globes anywhere. And there you can see the traffic sounds. I mean, it's nice to have the traffic sounds, but it would have been nice to have vehicles moving with the sounds. Again, not a criticism as such, just an observation, nothing more. So this is great. Let's go into the terminal, into landside first. I mean, the signage is wonderful. It's clear, crystal clear. We're just going to take a little pan, slow whiz around the terminal, nothing more. And here you can hear the sounds of chit-chatting the passengers. Passengers that check in there. We've got a check-in agent, which is excellent. And this is nice. Very nice. Airline information desk. Let's have a look at this departures board, see how clear it is. I mean, look at that, we're up close and that's totally readable. Well done, excellent. It's really nice, it is. Very, very nice indeed. Little restaurant, static and animated people. So this is arrivals. Let's go into the baggage hall. Normally you're not allowed to do this from landside anyway. But isn't this impressive? See, even got sort of vending machines and things there. And you can hear the chit chat of the sounds, and I think this is a first time I've seen actual baggage rotating in and out on a baggage carousel. That's impressive. Well done. So this is the customs exit out to landside, the green zone. And it just looks amazing. I like it a lot. Love the way it's been done. And once again, car rental shop desks, and look, they're manned. You've got people there. So a very quick whiz past the landside concourse here. As you can see, the shops, I mean, really beautifully done. And here we've got moving escalators. And you can even hear them. This is really impressive. I mean, I'm sorry, I know you guys are going to turn around and say, no, this is not what I want, I'm a pilot, I just want to fly in and fly out. And you want airside to be as it is, and I get that, it's perfectly good. But here is a good example of what Flight Sim 2020 can do if it's with the right developer, with the skills of a certain developer. Okay, so a couple of little shots here, just last look at landside. There you can see check-in desks down here with people. Here you can see the security area. This is departures. They go through security into the airside lounge. And just to look in the other direction, it's really wonderful to see the escalator motion here. I mean, this is great. Not sure if this is a first I've seen. I don't know, I've done so many sceneries, but it's rare. Maybe I might have seen one or two in the 400 odd reviews I've done. I might have seen just one or two escalator movements. Oh, we've got a vehicle passing landside, that's good. Okay, so now let's go airside and have a look at the view inside the terminal airside. So firstly, a couple of views from outside the terminal looking in through the glass. As I said, when the sun goes down you get some lovely views and you can really see what the terminal looks like. Here you can see the medium level, and there's the lower level here. There's offices down here, look, with people in them. Really good. And there we are looking in the other direction, and it looks to me you could probably go down those walkways as well to the jetway. Anyway, let's go inside and have a look. And here we'll tour the airside lounge. A couple of animated people. And there's somebody doing the ticket inspection there before they go. I mean, this is lovely. The detail is amazing. It's very nice. Okay, some of the people models are not the best in the world, but they work, and I'm certain that they've been done this way so that the frame rate is still pretty reasonable. I mean, it's great. It really is great. It's been very nicely done. Flying bistro. And again, you've got the ambience of people chit-chatting, which gives it a real, just a real sort of realism about it, as it were. So a quick look back this way. What I want to do now is to go to just up to one of the gates and see if we can actually go down the jetway, because it's lit. You've got passengers waiting. As you can see, it's fully modelled here. It's really nice. So here's the entrance here. Now this is closed, but let's see if we can go through on the other side. And yes, you can. And there's the rotunda part. And if we look here through the closed doors, there you can see the jetway operating controls, and the door to the actual end of the jetway is closed. I mean, that's attention to detail. Really impressive. So a couple of quick shots outside. Here you can see my aircraft parked. I mean, that's a lovely view. You can see everything. The lighting, plenty of lighting on the stand there as the sun's getting lower and lower. Green centerline taxiway lights. And all the markings you'll ever need. And how's that for detail? Lovely. You've got a Lufthansa jet there. There's the Cobus bus with the indoor seating and the lighting done. Doors are open and you've got a line of passengers going into the aircraft. I like it. I really do. It's a it's a wonderful piece of scenery. You need to get a vehicle and just enjoy driving around here after you land. It's impressive. So as you can see, there's an overview of airside and landside. The lighting effects are beautiful, right down to the glow from the aircraft's wing lights. Here you've got green and red, starboard and port. Here you've got the bus is all lit up. The glow from the stand lighting is really, really nice here. Not a Sobo globe in sight. So a quick look at the control tower there. You can see up to the left it's lit inside. We'll have a look in a second. There's the fire station, and you can see parallaxing on the windows now looks really good at the night time or the darkness hours. So there are our friends controlling away inside the tower with some nice lighting. All really works. And here's a good example of parallaxing here. You can see the inside of the fire station, and there, as you can see, are all the equipment hanging up. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is parallaxing. It looks quite real. It really does. But as you can see, that's internal design at its best. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. Okay, so let's turn the lighting down now to night time. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see the sun's gone, we're totally dark. There's the full airside ramp, nicely lit, really fully lit. You're not going to have any problems getting here. You've got green centerline lights, there are blue airfield edge lights as well, so coming off the runway shouldn't really be too much of an issue. And there's the threshold of runway 29, and I like the fact you can see the stop bars winking away as well. So pulling onto this stand, this is the view from the flight deck as you park up, put the brakes on and shut the engines down. This is what you're going to see, which for me really does look the part. It really does. View from the captain's side. Again, note the fact that the jetways are all nicely lit. And just looking out through the first officer's window. So there's a shot looking at the airside ramp at night time. The lighting is wonderful, it's not been overdone, it's perfectly adequate, it's all coming from the right source. And there's the other end, and here's the Lufthansa jet still loading. There's landside, as you can see, plenty of light inside the terminal, so I'm not going to waste time by going in there and having a look. We've had a really detailed look, and it all looks quite impressive. There, looking to the northwest, there's the car park below us and the entrance to the airport here, and the other car park in the distance to the far left. And slightly off airport here, here's the other car park just landside at the southeastern end. And there I think you've got a hotel or something in the distance as well. So a lot of bits and pieces been added that I'm not going to go into now. I'm going to leave for you to explore. Okay, so that was a quick look at night time. Let's bring the dawn up. Okay, 7:05 in the morning. As you can see, we're starting to get the red glow on the buildings. Oh, it just looks lovely. I love this time of day as well. And there we are, looking towards the threshold of runway 29. Here's apron 2 over here and the de-icing pad, and you can see the sun's coming up nicely there. Okay, 9:30 in the morning, and time to wrap up this review and give you my thoughts and conclusions. Let's answer a couple of quick questions off the bat. Do I like it? Yeah, that's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Is it worth the price? It's a steal. €18 with the work that's been done in here. It's a steal. I've seen people or developers charging 25, 26, 28 euros for scenery products that haven't had half the work this has been done. This has got in it. You've got moving escalators, animated people that don't affect the frame rates, fully developed airside areas on the ramp, everything you need. Wherever you look, there seem to be passengers going on to aeroplanes here and there. Beautiful signage that even reflects the light during the darkness hours. Control tower and fire station fully modelled. You can even see the fire tenders equipment inside the building. It's just, the list goes on, and we haven't looked at any of the off-airport buildings that have been modelled and added to the scenery as well. In terms of terrain, I don't see any terrain issues. The only possible issue I've got is maybe vehicles entering the runway. There's one to the left there, so I'm just going to swing to the left. So there goes the vehicle now. He's thinking about it. And he's turned off. Or he's doing a bit of a diddle on the runway, but it looks like he's going off. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I just have a thing about vehicles going down the runways. I don't know how much control over that developers have, or whether it's an Asobo thing. Maybe somebody, or Drzeweicki Designs, if you're watching this, maybe you can tell me whether it's an issue, or just how much control you've got over vehicles entering runways. For me, it's a no-no, especially if you're going to be landing in the dark. However, that said, like I said, it's a beautiful scenery, so much detail internally and externally, and I don't have any frame rate issues at all. If you look at the last video, the first video I did this week with Stuttgart, I put my CPU, my processor, my PC specifications up for you to see. It's not the highest in the world, but yeah, I don't have any issues, really don't. And now to the big question, which I dare say you all want me to answer: is it better than Fly Too High? I'm afraid it is. Okay, it's €5 more expensive, I get that. But if you want the best version of Wroclaw Airport to date, this is it. As I said in the beginning, I heard of a version 1.2 update. This is version 1.1, so they've either fixed or sorted out some things in another version, so they're continually improving this. That said, to be honest, Fly Too High have also released 2 or 3, maybe 4 updates as well. It's difficult to say how much between the two sceneries. Obviously there's a big price factor. This one's €5 more expensive. But I think this is the best out there. Fly Too High scenery is perfectly acceptable. It's a very nice product. I did a video on it, and I'll link it in the description below so you can look at that and make your own comparisons. But there is so much to see here. As a pilot, you've got everything you need and everything that looks real when you land here and park up. It's going to be great if you get air traffic control on VATSIM. It's just really going to be great. But for those of you who want to see just what can be achieved in Flight Simulator 2020, this is one of those sceneries that shows you that. Moving escalators, as I said, of the 400 odd videos I've done so far, reviews, I've maybe seen that once or twice. It's very rare to see that. It's got some lovely features here. And I'm amazed at just how good the frame rate is, considering. As I said, I'll leave Apron 2 down the other end for you guys to have a closer look at during the darkness hours. Go out landside and find the various landmarks. It's a lovely scenery. It's very impressive and highly recommended. So there you go, folks. Wroclaw Airport in Poland, Echo Papa Whiskey Romeo. Payware scenery by Drzeweicki Designs. You're looking at version 1.1. I believe there's a version 1.2 that's going to be available if it's not already, for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Downloads at 1.64 gig and it installs at 3.73 gig. It's available from a variety of locations. Airsoft, AnyBuilds, Orbix and SimMarket all have this scenery for purchase. Not a lot of difference between the price. But SimMarket price, which includes tax at 20%, is listed as €18, which equates to roughly $19.21 US, or £15.66 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are estimates from the euro, and they do indeed include tax or VAT. It's a lovely scenery, loads of features, beautifully modelled and textured right down to even the smallest things. Darkness hours, the airport really comes to life, as indeed many do. Lots of subtle nuances here during the darkness dusk hours. It's a wonderful airport. So that wraps up the second review this week. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've been thinking about which is the best version to buy, obviously there is a price difference, and for many people that's important. The two sceneries, Fly Too Highs and Drzeweicki Designs, are both highly acceptable. I have no problems with them at all. But if you want the best, this is currently it. Sorry, but it is. Just my humble opinion. So thanks for watching. Hope this has helped you. I will see you in the next review. We'll be doing 2 reviews next week. And I also have a bit of a beef in my bonnet, which I may issue a video about later this week. Something I want to discuss with the community. But for now, thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Click the like button. It really helps to boost my video. Getting very close to 1,000 subscribers now, and when I do get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll be launching some merch for you in case you're interested in. Thanks again. This is Lee wrapping it up and saying bye for now. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye now.